All right, welcome to another episode of Your Business Unleashed. Today we're talking about being powered by the people, the TDR Electric story. Today we got a fabulous guest, Taylor Ross. Thanks for coming, Taylor.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, Clayton.
Yeah, right on. So TDR has become one of the region's leading electric contractors in the Lower Mainland of Vancouver. I think you kind of have a great rap for craftsmanship, professionalism, and a people-first culture. You correct me if I'm wrong, but TDR is into commercial construction, big projects, multi-residential projects, and you're doing a lot of EV charging installations as well, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we basically have, I guess, three business units, you could say. Our large commercial construction, so ground up multifamily buildings, commercial construction or commercial buildings. And then we have our EV charging, where we do infrastructure, retrofitting into condo buildings, public chargers for the city, etc. And then we have our service division as well, where we'll do small service calls, maintenance, etc.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a full plate. I would like to, you've got a pretty good sized business, you got a pretty good sized team, and I imagine that there was a lot of hard work and pain to get there because you founded the company, right?
Yeah, I did. It's about 10 years ago now.
So tell me about that. Like, yeah, where did you come from that made you get into it? So give me the origin story here. So.
Yeah. I was actually working up north at the time. On my days off, it was a 2-week on, 2-week off schedule, and I'd come home and just start doing service calls. And I kind of had a knack for it. Kept growing it from there. Incorporated a company, and eventually I just decided to go for it. And I quit my job up north and went full on with it. It was a bit of a struggle at the beginning, to be honest. When I quit my job, it was I ended up quitting my job up north, and just kind of went for it. In the beginning, it was tough. You're trying to pick up work, quote at night at home, and you got to kind of do what you got to do to keep things going, keep the lights on.
You're literally wearing all the hats. Right, quoting.
Oh, literally, yeah. You're wearing all the hats.
Where was your work coming from? Where was your work coming from? How were you getting these service calls?
Well, I ended up doing a lot of research and learning how to build websites, do the SEO and everything. So I was doing that on my own as well.
Extra hats.
Yeah. I ended up picking up a lot of work just from online ads and even just putting ads on Craigslist back in the day.
Yeah.
And service calls and stuff came in, and then finally one day I got an opportunity from they're like a large real estate investment firm, and they were renovating towers. So they they get 4 or 5 units a month. We renovate the units, and then every month it was consistent work. And that really allowed me to hire my first employee and my second, and then I was able to actually get off the tools and get out there and start doing some business development and picking up more work. So that allowed me to pick up some steam and momentum and continue to grow the business.
That's interesting that you talk about getting off the tools. I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs in this industry, that's not their primary focus because we're craftspeople, right? In this industry in particular. And so, what was it that made you sort of think that you had to get off the tools? Was that intrinsic, or did you have some guidance, or, what helped you along with that decision?
I really wanted to learn how to develop the business, and I was really interested in the business side of it as well. So that really motivated me to continue to hire people so they could do the work in the field, and I could get out there and quote and build relationships with clients and continue to grow the business that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. And we do see that a lot in construction, and those are typically the owners who are, they've got the bigger companies, they've got the better lifestyle where, you're off the tools and you can actually go and I see your golf behind you there, like you go play around a golf and your business isn't going to implode, and that's really what we're all fighting for here, right? So.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's just it, right?
Yeah. So through your 10 years, you must have, how many employees are you now approximately?
We're roughly 90 employees right now.
Geez, I mean, that's rapid growth. We've been around for 4 years longer than you, I think, and we're not even a quarter of that. That's a lot of people, man. Congrats.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
that can't have been easy. What were some of the main pain points that you ran into as you were growing?
Oh, there's so many.
Share as much or as little as you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been so many along the way, but obviously, finding good people and keeping them. I mean, through COVID and everything, about 5 years ago, it was obviously a struggle, especially in Vancouver. The market was so frothy for tradespeople. So people had so many options out there for
Right.
good work, and just finding people and going through growth during that period was extremely difficult.
And I'm trying to think of when we met you. This has got to be, we're probably 2 years now, I think, or 3. We're in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
2 or 3 years now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think we talked to you during COVID as well, and I think that was one of the things that struck me was your employee first model in this construction based business. I mean, that's not totally typical because you're bearing a lot of burdens in cyclical times, right? Because you got to keep paying people and whatever.
Yeah.
And that was sort of one of the things that I'm like, Taylor, you're a bit crazy here, man. You're like, no, this is how we do things, Clayton. And I remember that conversation well. So, what's the key? What's the secret sauce, if you will, to keeping people happy when they got a lot of options? What do you think?
Well, I think having a clear vision, that's something that we maybe didn't have in the beginning, but we've established over the years. I mean, our vision is 250-50-0. Kind of sounds like a locker combination, I guess, but it has a lot of meaning.
250-50-0. All right.
Yeah. So what that means is our vision, our goal is to grow the company to 250 people, 50 million a year, and 0 layoffs. And the 0 layoffs is something that's really important to us, and that's keeping. We work so hard to keep these or to recruit these people. We want to keep them. So in the construction industry, I'm sure as you might know, obviously projects, start and finish, and we have gaps between these projects. So we want to do whatever we can to ensure that we keep our people and we don't lay them off. And we have a system when there is gaps in between projects or there is delays where we can ensure that we keep these people employed by TDR.
Yeah, that's and that effort is sort of monumental, isn't it? I mean, you've hired us to help you with your back office accounting work. We got a fractional CFO we're working with you. We've had a leadership coach in there, and those are all sort of foundational points to have in order to understand your numbers enough to understand, listen, we really have these goals to hit and we don't want to lay people off. So we need to be able to shift on the fly and we need to know our numbers inside and out for that, right? So I'm actually really impressed on the focus that you put on that. And your bookkeeper before us was absolutely amazingly competent and helped you get to a really good spot, along your growth curve. So I can tell that you've always put a high degree of focus on your numbers and your financials, right? Do you have any thoughts on that or why you were doing that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you need to be financially responsible, but if we are strong financially, we are able to support our employees through these periods of, call it a slowdown in between projects or little gaps in between projects or it's delay. We're able to afford to, have them come in and, clean all the vans or have them come in and organize the shop. Just things to keep them busy for, a few days or a week or 2 weeks in between these projects so we can keep them employed by TDR.
Yeah. So I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about your 4 pillars. So you've been working with a leadership coach who's on our team or works with us a lot on figuring some stuff out to try and help you get to the next level in your growth for TDR to help you achieve your 250-50-0, right? And so take me back and sort of remind me of what the trigger point was where I actually talked you into that and you said yes, right? Like, what were you going through at the time where you went, maybe I could get a bit of help on this particular piece? Because we were already in on the accounting and the fractional CFO, but the actual cultural leadership development piece, help me out, help me understand where you were at when we went there.
Yeah, I think we were just getting to a size or a bit of an inflection point where we were hitting, maybe it was you or maybe it was our leadership coach there that said the danger zone. I remember that really resonated with me. And I think you can grow to a point where you can get away without having a vision or having the pillars and having your team making decisions based on that vision, and you're not empowering them enough. So I think we were really approaching that danger zone, and that's when I think it was yourself that brought that up and kind of guided us towards that leadership coach.
Yeah, right on. And so what was the experience like? Like, take me through how from that point to how you got to your 4 pillars, what your 4 pillars are, why they matter, and all that. So run us through that. Because first of all, I got to say, it's so awesome that you're here. It's so rewarding and gratifying for me as a person who tries to help entrepreneurs to be on the phone with a person like you who has a successful company with happy employees. I mean, I love it. And so congrats on that. So take me through that journey.
Yeah, well, I think the leadership coach really just helped us, or helped myself at first, just gain some clarity on where we're going. I think he said to me once, you're on this bus, you have everyone on the bus, you're driving, but everyone's like, where are we going?
Yeah.
And that's when we helped really establish this vision, this goal, and really just communicate that across the company so everybody really understands what the vision is and what our 4 pillars are. And I'll talk a little bit about that. So our 4 pillars are, we make decisions based on our vision, and we use systems-based thinking, we decentralize our decision making, and we care for our customers. So what that first one means, we make decisions based on our vision. So every choice, big or small, kind of ties back into our vision. That's the 250-50-0. So if we're considering buying a tool, we just buy that tool because we know that we want to be a company of that size that will need that tool, and it doesn't need my approval. Our COO or our foreman, they understand that vision, so they know that they can just make that purchase. And when we use systems-based thinking, what I mean by that is we build repeatable systems so we can scale consistently and deliver that same quality every time to our clients, and our employees understand that. So that's what that means.
Can I ask you can I park on your second pillar here for a sec? What happens when an exception pops up?
An exception, what do you mean?
Like if something comes outside of the system, like if a client's asking you to go outside of the boundaries of your systems, for example, or do you just say no to that?
We would just say no to that, but there is always exceptions.
Yeah, sure.
From time to time, but typically we would just say no.
Yeah, and I think that's super important, is once you figure out your systems and your processes, like sticking to them is really key, isn't it? It's
so important, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sorry, didn't mean to derail you there. So
no worries. So the third one, we centralize our decision making. So that really drives down to we empower our people to lead and make those calls and take ownership without waiting for permission from us or from myself or COO or whoever their direct report is.
Yeah, and that's so much easier when you've got the context of a good vision and you've got good systems in place. That decision making, a whole bunch of considerations or has been removed, and a whole bunch of context has been added. So it's a lot easier for people to make decisions, right? And you've hired smart people, frankly, right? Let's let them do their thing, right? So they're going to make good decisions most of the time, right? If they've got the context and the systems.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, really empowering them is the most important thing. And that, that helps you delegate, that helps myself progress, it helps them progress, it helps the whole company, right?
Yeah.
The last one, so we care for our people and our customers. So what that really means is it's relationships come first. We create an environment where both our employees and our clients feel valued, supported, and respected. So relationships is really what that one drives down to.
So how do you run me through that a little bit? Like, what are, without giving away the secret sauce, because it sounds to me like the secret sauce. What are some of the things that you do to create that stickiness or that cohesiveness with your clients and with your teammates?
Just building relationships with them is so important with our clients and our employees, and having those strong relationships. So there's that trust built between us. That's number one for us.
Right. And so you're doing a lot of FaceTime, a lot of in-person stuff?
A lot of in-person stuff with our clients. Yeah, and our employees. We have so many events and stuff that we throw in our organization just to get everyone together, because there's that separation between the office and the field, and we don't always get to see each other. Our employees that are out in the field on different sites throughout, Vancouver, the Lower Mainland, and the province. So we just really want to get everyone together to build that FaceTime, that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so important. I can't remember, it might have been Chuck Blakeman at some point had a research study that he found along the way that basically said, like, the number one indicator of team performance is whether or not you have a best friend at work, right? It's all about that connection at work. And it's interesting because I think there's like this renaissance of human connection happening right now, especially post pandemic, where getting in front of each other and looking each other in the eyes and breathing the same air, so to speak. I think it makes a real meaningful impact on your motivations in life. And of course, we've got a remote team, and they're all over the place. And you go, how do we stay connected? Well, we're flying out to meet them in a couple of weeks, and we're hanging out for the weekend. And it's like we're always on the phone together, just catching up and chatting about things. And you go, that's a huge waste of time. No, it's not, right? Because the productivity gains that you get when people feel like they're making meaning at work rather than just doing electrics or doing accounting or whatever, right? It's so impactful. So I love that fourth pillar. It's a big one that I lean on as well. So yeah, what's next at TDR?
What's next for us? Well, we're going to keep growing. Obviously, we're going towards our vision, our goal. We want to keep building relationships with bigger clients, continue to grow our project portfolio, the size of projects we work on, and just building our team and creating opportunities for everyone on our team to level up. That's one of the best parts of this whole journey has been just watching some of our people excel and level up, to go from an apprentice to a foreman to a project manager throughout our organization, and training them. So that's something we really focus on at TDR is training our people and empowering them, right?
Yeah, right on. Okay, let's do a quick 3. So if I'm talking to a construction owner right now, a construction company owner who is on the cusp of, you hit that level in construction where you're a good salesperson, your old systems are working for now, but it's bound to break at some point, and you can't seem to tip over that, whatever the revenue number is, 6 million in revenue. Let's just pick 5 million in revenue. We'll pick a number, and it's like you can get there, but as soon as you can't go beyond that, and you can't figure out how to go beyond that, right? So to get over that hump, give me 3 things. Give me 3 things that you would tell a construction owner to pay attention to or to do to get over that hump and to actually get to that next level.
Yeah,
I realize I'm putting you on the spot. So,
I mean, it depends, but there's always there's these different levels you get to, like you just mentioned, where whether it's like 2 million or 5 million, 6 million, 10 million is another big one. What it really is a lot of the time it's investing in your people and hiring resources before you need them. I think that's something that we've really leaned into in the last few years, and it's really helped us. So whether it's promoting someone in the organization up to project manager up to the VP of construction or whatever it is, I think it's doing that before you need to, before you've built up a huge backlog of work, and now you're kind of scrambling, right? I think that's what a lot of construction companies do, is they're afraid to take on that overhead before they need it. So there's a fine line of knowing that the work is coming, and promoting and training within the organization if you can to level up your people so they're ready for that next big flow of work to come in, right?
Right on. So that's one. Give me two more.
I think, really focusing on relationships. Like I said, that's one of our pillars, and that's something that, will help you with internally with your employees, and then externally with your clients. So really focusing on fostering those relationships with your clients, so the work comes in, and then your employees, so they feel like they're appreciated within your organization.
Can I plant number 3 for you, and you talk about how valuable it is? How about getting outside eyes on your business?
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. So, how has that helped you, and how might it help others?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting a leadership coach, for example, which really helped us, and just having that someone from the outside lens looking in, and just different set of eyes on what's going on in your business, maybe with yourself as the CEO and the rest of your leadership team, and tying them all together. Just it helps with gaining a lot of clarity, I think, in your business. You're so caught up in the day-to-day grind, and what you're focusing on week to
today.
week. And it really helps you take a step back and just gain some clarity of what's going on, and helping with the communication too throughout your organization.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Taylor. I know you're a busy guy with 90 team members that you're accountable to, so we won't take up any more of your time. What is the website, in case anybody wants to go and track your success story?
Our website is tdrelectric.ca.
Yeah, right on. And if anybody's out there is listening and needs some help with a major project in the Lower Mainland, TDR are your people. So thank you so much for making the time today, Taylor.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Clayton. Take care.
Yeah, right on.